The scholars agree that Ibrahim, peace be upon him, was the first to undergo circumcision, but they differ regarding the age at which he was circumcised. In Al-Muwatta, it is narrated from Abu Huraira that he was circumcised when he was 120 years old and lived for 80 more years after that. There are also reports that he was circumcised when he reached the age of 80 using adze. The scholars have differed regarding circumcision. The majority of them agree that it is a confirmed practice and one of the innate customs of Islam that should not be neglected in men. Some have even considered it obligatory based on the verse that says, to follow the religion of Ibrahim, Surah An-Nahl 123. Qatada said, it refers to circumcision, and it is from the innate nature. There is a hadith narrated by Abu Huraira from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, stating, the fitra, natural disposition, consists of 5 things, including circumcision. Sahih al-Bukhari, Ka'b al-Ahbar said, among the prophets, there were 13 who were circumcised: Adam, Sheeth, Seth, Idris, Enoch, Noah, Lut, Lot, Yusuf, Joseph, Musa, Moses, Shu'aib, Suleiman, Solomon, Yahya, John the Baptist, Isa, Jesus, and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The scholars have differed regarding the appropriate time for male circumcision. It is established in the narrations from a group of scholars that Ibrahim circumcised Ismail at the age of 13, and he circumcised his son Ishaq at the age of 7 days. It is also narrated that Fatima used to circumcise her sons on the 7th day. The scholars generally recommend that adult males who convert to Islam should also be circumcised. Ibrahim was the first to practice al-istidad, which refers to the removal of pubic hair. Muslim narrated from Abu Huraira that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, the fitra, natural disposition, consists of 5 things: circumcision, removing the pubic hair, trimming the mustache, clipping the nails, and plucking the armpit hair. Additionally, it is narrated from Ibn Umar that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, be different from the idolaters. Let your beards grow, and trim your mustaches. Sahih Muslim, regarding having white hair, gray hair, it is a sign of light and wisdom, and it is disliked to pluck it. In a narration reported by An-Nasa'i and Abu Dawood from the hadith of Amr ibn Shu'aib from his father from his grandfather, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, 127 inches do not pluck out the gray hair. Whoever has gray hair in Islam, it will be light for him on the day of resurrection. Allah will record a good deed for him and erase one of his sins. Also, it is disliked to change the color of gray hair to black. However, changing it to a color other than black is permissible. As the Prophet, peace be upon him, advised Abu Qafa when he saw his white beard and said, change this but avoid black. Sahih Muslim, the birth of Ishaq sad face 1, Allah, the Exalted, said, indeed, he was of our believing servants, and we gave him good tidings of Ishaq, a prophet from among the righteous. Quran, Surah As-Safat, 111-112. When the angels informed Ibrahim, peace be upon him, about the destruction of Lot's people, his wife laughed in amazement at the news. The angels said to her, do not be amazed. You are being given the glad tidings of a son, and he will have descendants and offspring, as mentioned by Allah, the Exalted and Almighty. Then we gave her good tidings of Ishaq and after Ishaq, Jacob. Quran, Surah Hud, 71. The argument that is derived from this verse is that the sacrifice mentioned here is indeed Ismail, and it is not possible for it to be Ishaq because the glad tidings of his birth had already been given, and it was known that he would have a son named Jacob. So, how could Ibrahim be commanded to sacrifice Ishaq while he was still a young child, and Jacob had not been born yet as the promised offspring? Indeed, the promise of Allah is true, and there is no change in it. Given this assurance, it becomes inconceivable for Ibrahim to be commanded to sacrifice someone who is already promised to have a significant future, like Isaac. Therefore, it is more logical and valid to conclude that the one to be sacrificed is Ismail. This argument is among the strongest and most sound in this context. And when the angels gave her glad tidings, she said, "Woe to me! Shall I give birth while I am an old woman, and this, my husband, is an old man?" Quran, Surah Hud, 72.